Good to see you. You have joined me in Sapa, Vietnam. And what you see behind me is blue sky. I decided to turn up a few days ago after the rainy season just started, it appears, and the skies opened up. Torrential rain over the last few days. Yesterday was a bit dodgy as well, but the sky was clearing up a little bit. It was so bad that the pea soup, you couldn't see through sometimes the other side of the road. It was that bad. The camera was complaining that I had to clean the lens because it thought the lens was so dirty because it couldn't get enough light. The glasses were fogging up. But in saying that, today I haven't got an umbrella. Today is a good day. Behind me is Sun Plaza, as I see over there. So Sun Plaza is right behind me. Sun Plaza is where the cable car goes up the mountain. I'm in the open plaza at the moment, in the centre, what I call almost the centre. I would probably say the lake is the centre. That's just around the corner, but we're in this auditorium area next to the Sun Plaza. There's behind me is the Catholic church. So, pretty little church. And you can see it's very Vietnamese. I think that's called the Sapa Square. So today I think I'm going to go up the cable car because I believe, to get some better view, there is a view at the top of the mountain. There is some dark clouds and I'm hoping they wash over. It was still raining last night, so today looks like the best day so far that I have got so far in this city or this town. Sapa, for those that don't know, the way I see it, there's two ways of getting here. You can either take, if you're coming from Hanoi, you can either take a 6-hour bus, one of those coffin buses, and they cost around about 420,000 Vietnamese dong. So you're currently getting around about 19 and a bit thousand dong for the Australian dollar, so $20, $25 for a 6-hour bus for Hanoi, and they leave from Sapa, from the bus station, which is on, when we get to the lake, it's on the other side of the lake as a bus station. The other way out into that people come, that's why I came, coming from the Lao Chao land border from China. So there's a 50,000 Vietnamese dong bus that goes from Lao Chao, from outside the train station at Lao Chao, where you can take the train to Hanoi as well, and it can bring you up the mountain it takes about an hour, pretty windy, and it will whip through for 50,000 dong and take you down to the border, and you can essentially just from there possibly could walk. I took a taxi from the border to the train station because it was just terribly wet. When I say wet, it was just horribly wet. And then you can just wander over into the Chinese border. And from there you can take, if you want to get into mainland China, you can essentially take a DD taxi, because the DDs aren't operating in the city of Hien Clo, I think I pronounced it, Hekou. The taxi mafia has basically blocked the DDs from operating in the small town. But once you're to the train station, you've got a 4.5 hour train up to Kunming, takes you into the gateway into the southern China. So that's our proximity where we are. I was in Vietnam about a year and a bit ago. I never made it to Sapa. I didn't have the 3 days to do it, but this time I was able to bolt down for a few days to see the place. It's very touristy, lots of people. You can get bacon and eggs. You are in a tourist bubble. In saying that, there are tons of foreigners. tons of foreigners. It's just what it is. But it's very Vietnamese, very different than China. It's like Hanoi come to Sapa, sleepy town, and basically said, hey, we want to put Starbucks in them and spend a bit of money. And I think over the last 20 years it's just gone apparently from a sleepy town into a tourist bubble. It reminds me to some extent of Pokhara in Nepal. The Pokhara is a... God, there's a truck. They like their horns here. Pokhara is a town, tourist town in Nepal. You fly there, or you can take the death bus here from the capital. I think it's about 10 hours on the windy roads. You can fly there, about $50 American. But it's the same. It's a lake full of tourists. It's a bubble. You can get bacon and eggs. I have a theory about bacon and eggs, which goes, if you can't get it, you're not in a tourist bubble. And a lot of the time for us foreigners, sometimes it's good to have the bacon and the eggs, but geez, this way off is all the tourists. There are a lot of tourists. But meet interesting people. And there's a few, if you can see the dog here, you get a lot of the wandering dogs. It's not my friend, I don't know what he's like. He's got a collar. He's just standing here. I don't know what he's doing. What he's doing. So, the lake's this way. There is the cable car. There's a bit of a shopping centre as well. That's owned by Vin Wonder. Vin Wonder is a big Vietnamese brand. I think they're Vin. They also make cars. So you see the V on the back of these cars. I've only ever seen these cars in China, in Vietnam. So you get to see the V, and it's owned by the same family. I'm expecting it's a big industrial family, and they've got a lot of coin, a lot of investment from foreign firms. But essentially, Vin Wonder, this is the same crew who've got the cable car up Da Nang, up the mountain, and they've got that fake Disneyland top of Da Nang. They've also got the Vin Wonder Island off Nha Trang further south on the train line as you head further south into going towards Dalat, or going into taking the train further to Ho Chi Minh City, aka Saigon. So they do cable cars. I haven't been up this one yet. It's about, I can get a promo ticket on Klook to go up there for about 45. I think you save $5-10 Australian if you go up using a promo discount card, like a ticket voucher from a Klook, rather than buying at the gate. So my mission first is to get breakfast. I guess it's early-ish. It is the time for dinner. That's a late start, 8:24. So I'm gonna have breakfast. I don't want me to get, and then I'm gonna buy my ticket. Got my long hiking packs because I don't know. Going up there, I think it's going to get windy and cold. I've got my raincoat in my bag. I haven't got my umbrella. I don't think it's an umbrella day. I think the last few days were umbrella days. Today is not an umbrella day. So, right. I'm going to check out. I'll come back later. So, I have a ticket to the top of the mountain. So I ended up getting a combo ticket. That includes the monorail to the midpoint, where there's a viewing point, and there's a buffet restaurant. And then from the midpoint, there's a cable car that runs to the top, where again you've got more lookouts, more walking. And there's also apparently about 600 steps that take you to the top, or I think it's about a K walk. Or you can also get up there. You can also pay for a little click-clack train will take you up a bit of a vertical to get you to the top, where you just got a small walk. So I found too that you could also get them through Klook as a purchase app. It looks like they've got limited numbers, but they actually sell out too. And time-wise, the last cable car to the top of the mountain runs at 2:30 p.m, but the restaurant buffet runs till 3, so timey-wimey stuff going on at the moment, just trying to work out how I'm going to do this. But yeah, it's a clear day, mostly not raining down the ground, but it's going to be foggy at the top. But it's not raining. So in the last for a couple of days, that's all that matters. So, just waiting at the ground floor at the Sun Plaza. I'm not too sure the frequency of the train. I'm not sure if it's just the one that goes up and down, which I got a feeling there is one that goes up and down. It's a single line. One thing about Vunda, when you go up to these places, it's all fake at the top. That's the crunch of it, isn't it? It's all fake. They have got a few around the country, as I mentioned, and it's all fake. It's like a fake version of Disneyland without some of the special rides, but the fun, it's a unique experience. All up, this experience was 1.25 million dong, and then it comes out to 66 Australian dollars for the Vekla Click-Clacky monorail up to the midpoint, buffet lunch, and the cable car. So there's not bad value when you look at, say, you did a cable car up in China, in Dali, and Dali's was close to $50 to get up middle. That was ginormous cable car ride. That was two doubles, so it was a big ride. Yeah, but Vietnamese food is good value. You can't complain. Breakfasts, lunch, they're all good value. I find too that if you do the traditional Vietnamese food, you're getting a better value for money. Like last night, I got a chicken pho, which was 50,000 dong, 19,000 dong to the dollar, give or take, so $2.50. A beer was 25,000 dong. That was in the restaurant too. It was a Tiger. It's a good beer. No, I don't drink a lot of alcohol, but all up 75,000 dong. So call that $4 Australian. Good value. When you get Western food in these places, you pay more. See, you can get pizzas here. You're in tourist spot in this place, Sapa. You're getting a lot of Western options in food. Here we come.
Tuyến tàu hỏa được hướng Muong Hoa là công trình được đầu tư và thi công bởi tập đoàn Sân Động với thiết bị nhập khẩu cùng chất liệu tàu hỏa đang được thử nghiệm du lịch tỉnh Sapa Station. Đây là hệ thống đường hạt nhân hiện đại nhất Việt Nam với 2 đoàn tàu có sức chứa tương ứng đã trở
từ ga Sapa đến ga Muong Hoa thuộc khuôn viên khu du lịch san hô Sapa Station. Khách lưu ý kiểm tra lại hành lý tư trang của
So that was an interesting ride, very smooth, about 10 meters per second. It was on a cable, so no clickies. So it's just pulled up with a big ass cable that runs under along the track, pulls up the carriage and drops the train. It looks a single track, single station, so it's just a single cart that goes up and down. Here we are. We're in Alice in Wonderland. It's all very stylish. It's very Frenchy, isn't it? It's the same sort of styling that of in Da Nang when you got the Da Nang cable cars. It's sort of very Vietnamese, European styled. I don't know what was up here before they started doing much, but you could see a lot of construction work and a lot of the land was being around the track, so they do go hard and build a lot of buildings. So, Wild Pass Lane. Here we go, outside. Nice and clear. You can drive up here apparently. I saw a car park in the map. So you can probably get if there's a group of you who want to save a bit of coin, you can not actually pay for this first train. You can just pay for the cable car, which will take you to the top. So you could get a ride up here somehow if you've got a tour group. I don't know if it's Grab. Well, the Grabs come up here. You get your... It's all very scenic. Got swans down there. You've got... Where love finds its voice. Oh, so cute. Anyway. Moving on, all that lovey-dovey stuff. Oh, there's even a garden full of cupids. Garden full of cupids. Let's walk around the stage. Here we go. Bit of cupid loving. Here we go. Here's for the photos. The ground is very wet because it's been raining its arse off over the last few days. It's very pretty though up here. Look at that, you got the scene behind us. Again, it's all fake, but got a rose garden. This is like Asian heaven. Everywhere you can take photos. This was in China. There'd be 100 couples, photographers, all up here getting their shots, making it look like they were the only ones in the whole field. And you can walk. Oh, there's little walkways cutting through. It's very pretty, really. Roses are coming on. I don't think this gets drought up here. can see the wisps of the clouds. I don't know the altitude that we're at the moment. There's still warm. I've got a few things packed just in case it turns. It's been horrible over the last few days, so I'm not taking it apart once I get up to the top. But much more pleasant today. It's the risk you take when you come at a off season when it's not summer. I think seasonally up here the climate is very different than mainland China. I think I'm saying mainland Vietnam. I think at the moment it's just hot and sticky in the rest of Vietnam. The next few months it's going to get hot everywhere. Some spots. I think in Vietnam you can hide them away from the humidity, and this is why Sapa becomes very busy in peak of summer, because it gets away from that heat. It's all very pretty. I felt this when I was at Da Nang, up in the mountains. It's just very... You've got the cloud wisping up. I think it was a good idea to come up today. I'm going to get fogged out at the top. I got that feeling already, but I think it may surprise. You can see a lot of blue sky. I think it's going to be the best day for me anyway. But it's a problem. You come up to these locations, it's all a bit of a punt. They're hoping, because a lot of people only come up for a couple of days. I'm up for 5 nights. And I'll be back later on in my journey. I'll be back doing Vietnam properly, so this is just a getaway trip. And but it's still very attractive up here. I like how the clouds are moving. So I'm gonna have a walk around. There is a stairwell to an infinity stairwell. I don't know what you call these things. Go up there and people can take your pictures. It would probably be nice if you see a blue sky in that part of the sky, but yeah. Anyway, I'm going to keep walking around. So, that's a little wander up the hill from the base of the first station. They get you into this little, well, I'm going to call it what it is. I think it's a fake little village. I'm sure there was probably villages up here beforehand. They might have done some land acquisition and promised employment. So I think they do shows. I got some side here. We're talking about the Thai ethnic community residing in Sapa. Yeah. You have a lot of the traditional ladies coming from up this way that sell their wares down in Sapa. They must clock big steps per day, and then just loop around in maybe singles or pairs or triplets, and they just go around basically trying to sell you a lot of trinkets. Because you have to put this into, when you wander these places, you have to put it into a sort of a better understanding that financially, if you're a foreigner and you stand out like a sore thumb, they see you as rich because, well, face it, you could afford an airplane ticket. So it makes you rich. Yeah, just because you're in these places. And when you know, Vietnam, for me at least, from the Australian dollar, there's a lot of Americans and Europeans, and they're travelling a much stronger currency again. It's very cheap. But the locals working in these communities, I think we're supposed to go through here. I don't know where I'm walking. There wasn't any signs, I just saw a gate. You're living in these communities up in the middle of nowhere. You're living off the land. So see what I can see down there. It's difficult to know how much fakery sometimes is done. See, going back to this is all fakery, of course, you know, that's what it is. There you go. Get your bit of Viennese on for that one. Oh, no understanding of that one. I was speaking with this Vietnamese guy. We're talking about China, and he said to me, he said a lot of Vietnamese can speak fluent Chinese, because they said, Chinese is easy for them, because they said they've only got 4 tones, and because that's the way you hold your tongue, see, all the tones that you make, and different words mean different things by essentially the tone, maybe where your tongue's sitting in your mouth, same word. Looks like a temple. Oh, so, as I was saying about the tones, my Vietnamese guy was telling me Vietnam's got 18 tones. See, that's why Chinese is easy. And I listened to the Chinese rattle off. It's incredibly difficult. I'm trying to pronounce the words after they're saying the words, and the reception staff at the hotel sitting there laughing because they think it's easy. And I just struggle with the tones. It's incredibly challenging trying to say these tonal words when you don't come up with that. You're not brought up with it. That's the crunch, isn't it? So we came around the back of the temple. There's more temple stuff. Hang on. So, yeah, Buddhist temple. There we go. Sometimes I think Buddha with all that Sanskrit reminds me of Shiva from Hinduism. I have to look deeper into the relative connection between Buddhism and Hinduism, because I think they are connected. They are connected to some extent. Everything's connected, really, deep down. A lot of these religions, very connected. Sometimes more like each other than different from each other. It's just what it is, really. This is very scenic. Remember, this is the halfway point. I'm enjoying these whispering clouds. They're coming through the valley and getting blown about. They're very cool. That goes back on. As you can see, delay it. Because, to my surprise, it's hot. I'm expecting you to be careful because you could even get a tan up here. Well, not me. I go pale pink. And then I go red. It's that Irish blood in me. Deep down from all the immigrants who went into New Zealand. I struggle with tan. It's either white or burnt. Sometimes I fit in between, but no. I gotta be careful. But a hat is important up here. But here we go, these are views. Oh, this is very cool. And I'd say this from growing up in New Zealand. I like the mountains. You can get up close, but they are so massive. New Zealand's got massive mountains as well, don't get me wrong. But this is, yeah, wow. This is just impressive. In the main building structure, this is where this is right next to the first exit point from the first car that comes from the ground in the town of Sapa. We've got two restaurants. We've got a Muslim restaurant selling harem food. That's the pronunciation. So, but you can eat there if you want. It just costs more money. There was extra cost to eat in the other restaurant. This is a restaurant I'm going to now. It's the buffet style. You get that in the combo ticket of $12.50. You can get it separately from $330,000. So that's basically $15. $330,000. It's $15 give or take. Call it $16. Anyway, here we are. Time for lunch. Well, hello. Very nice views, aren't they? So I've just had the buffet. They do a good job, and they've got everything under the sun. You can go hard. You can go real hard if you want to. Something's stopping you. They've got everything. They've got pizzas. They've got local foods, which is quite tasty. And it's just quite yummy. Sorry. Got to sneak through someone's photos. Look at this. Whee! Anyway, as I wandered through the flags, slightly raining. It's okay. Got my hat, got my coat. So what I was saying before is that you get everything. The one thing which I think maybe because it's a dinner crew, this is a luncheon special. It's rainy now. The Da Nang Thin Wonder, you go up the top of the mountain. They also do beverage. You can get 2 big pints of beer, so it made it really attractive. But this was a last year conversation, so I did this last year. Maybe you've changed it. But we'll go back through the village, walking towards the cable car.
con đứa mà giờ con một đứa con ngâm à?
While conversing with site ethnic artisans.
Lots of photo opportunities being set up for people to take their photos. It's rather scenic, and you can buy some food up here if you don't want to go through the buffet. You can buy local food, drinks and some food. I'm just going to pick up here and get a coat on. One sec. Oh yeah. About to walk up to heaven. This is walking at the top of the mountain. Here we go. 9-level waterfall. So they made a waterfall out of these steps too. The nine falls. There we go. This is a bit of spiritual stuff. I'm gonna do these Vietnamese steps and kill myself. Okay. Back. So the walk down is a lot more pleasant. It's pretty foggy up there. Overall, worth a trip, worth a walk. You're going to kill yourself legs, and maybe it justifies when you get back in the Sapa for a leg massage for 100,000 dong, which is around about $5 Australian for a 30-minute leg massage. That sounds like a good thing to do. So, at the front, have a good one. See you later.